G'day, my name's Lukey, and I'm a Streamaholic.
And hello, it's me, the Warship, and I'm a Streamaholic, and welcome to Streamaholics. Hey, hello everybody, How are we? I don't know how the audio is, you'll have to let us know real quick because the music at a decent level before we start. Hopefully it's not too loud, but I think we're okay. How are you going there, Lukey? Welcome in.
Pretty good, mate, pretty good. Excited to be here on another Friday night talking about content creation with your good self. How are you, mate?
Yes. No, I'm doing okay. My old man is gone now, sadly, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. We had a good week together. We got to hang out and do all the stuff we haven't got to do because of the stupid pandemic and everything. So now, you know, he's back home and everyone already misses him and, yeah, all of that. So it's good to have the computer back, though, and to be actually working again, though, I must say, after not being able to for ages. So, yeah, no, it's real good to be sort of back like, you know, under the lights and doing all the stuff. So, yeah, I've been really craving, like, you know, getting around and making some content. I've got a really cool secret project at the moment that we're working on. I can't talk about because I'll get bashed. Although, that being said, my mods may not be around, so I won't get in trouble. But I'm still not allowed to say anything about it as yet. So, yeah, I've got that boiling over at the moment, which is lots of fun. And, yeah.
Projects are always really cool.
Oh, yeah, the secret project. It's going to be real cool. I'm going to stop talking. Shit! Shotgun is here. God dang it. Yep, see, I'm in trouble already. But, yeah.
Get him, Steve.
Yeah, I know the Clo team are here. That's just as bad, but we're going to get in trouble. But yeah, so we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up at the moment, and streaming, as you know, one of the main things we're going to talk about tonight, has taken a little bit of a hit lately, I think, across the board. We've seen reductions on all three major platforms. So that is one of the talking points of this evening. We also have discussions about the old FaZe Club dropping G Fuel, where, you know, the clan is saying goodbye to one of their biggest gimmicks. Although it's phase 1, I don't quite understand what that means, because I'm not really across the difference in the teams between FaZe Clan and phase 1. Okay. But I think that it still counts as FaZe Clan overall. And then we've got a few other things to talk about as well. So there is a lot going on, actually, like legitimately a lot going on this week, and it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. Some of it's a little bit scary. But we're going to also have a little bit of a rehash of a conversation from last week as well. The major conversation from last week. And yeah, super interesting. One of the main things that I want to get around as well is that how a spelling mistake can cost you millions of dollars. That'll be an interesting one too.
Yeah, I mean, there's heaps of things that we've got on our little running list. It was I was quite surprised to see so much news like popping up in the last few days. Just little things that are interesting to talk about. Like, not a lot that's super game changing, but there's a lot of just interesting things that are just popping along every week. It's good.
We've certainly slowly but surely becoming a little bit more of a dish podcast. We're dishing out all the gossip as opposed to the technical help, but that's just because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and there's not a lot of stuff going on in the way of like technological advancement when it comes to streaming. So we are still here to offer advice and offer support on things as they come out, like new things. Like there was a plugin last week that sort of gained prominence that allowed you to have your predictions on the screen. And I think that's really interesting too. So I'll see if I can get one of the homies to link it up in the chat there. But it is really interesting. So if you make like a prediction on, say, for the wrestling, for me playing 2K22, when I have a prediction on for who's going to win the match, is Shippy going to retain the title or is he going to lose? The prediction actually shows up on screen like it would in the chat, and it has like a running list of people who are what they're voting and what they think they're going to get out of it and whatnot. So yeah, there are a cool few little plugins like that, but nothing super world breaking at this point. So. Yeah, I guess we'll probably start with I don't want to start with the big one, right? The big guns is still a little bit of a mystery to me, but I guess we could probably start there. And that is that after years and years and years, FaZe Clan have dropped G Fuel. G Fuel is synonymous with FaZe Clan. Like when you think G Fuel, you think that little F symbol on the front of them, like pretty much no matter what you do. And, you know, Fazeberry, sour Fazeberry. Sour Fazeberry is my favorite drink. Like, I use that in mixes for alcohol. No, I don't do that. I don't advise that. Nobody do that. That's wrong. You're not allowed to use alcohol with these products. But if I did, I would be drinking that all the time with my vodka. So, yeah, like it's a big hit. And now it's been taken over by Ghost. Now, I know I'm a bit of a workout boy there, Lukey. I'm not sure if you know much about Ghost or not, but they
No. Absolutely. These guns.
They have some of the best flavors for pre-workout, but as well as actual protein. Like they have like an Oreo flavored protein. They have I think it's sour nerds. Oh no, sour worms. The gummy worms. They have a Sour Patch Kids flavor of pre-workout. That's the words I'm trying to say. So there are a lot of variation, a lot of really nice things coming across there. But the general consensus has always been that it's not as good a canned drink. Now the problem,
have a canned drink, do they?
They have just started to release them in the canned drink too. But the thing that I find the most interesting about this whole thing is that if you go to Twitter and you look up G Fuel and you look up the followership for G Fuel, right? Like just have a quick one of those ones there, and have a look at how many people they have following them. You know, it's obviously they've been very lucrative with the time alongside FaZe, and it's been big for them, you know, overall. But if you then go ahead and you have a look at Ghost, there, as of today, there was 33,000 people following following Ghost. So
yeah, well, that's about to change, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Considering it was like 1.7 million over at G Fuel, just as off the top of your head. And when you look at the creators associated with it, you've got like the biggest names in content. So obviously they've changed their heading now since FaZe is no longer part of it. But if you look at it, it's all the big guns. You know, you've got PewDiePie up there. It's the staple when it comes to your energy drinks. Like even amongst like, you know, so many people that I know use a bunch of other smaller ones. I won't mention them because I don't want to degrade them, but a lot of smaller brands and love them.
Yeah.
But there's something about being sponsored by G Fuel. There's something about just showing the little tubs on your stream, and it's associative with streaming. I think, you know, it's like, check out my tub of drink, you know, like, it's something that you see everywhere. And now for FaZe not to be part of it, that's just, there must have been a tremendous amount of money involved in it, or something went very wrong. And I haven't heard yet. So,
well, yeah, Ghost might have come with the pennies, because the interesting part I found about this whole article that you brought to my attention was it's not just the switch to the Ghost, it's the competition show and the other marketing stuff that's coming with it, all getting launched at the same time. Yeah, which I found really interesting. So Ghost is going to be all about that. So that's what they're paying for right off the bat. So I think Ghost, just like you said, like it doesn't even, G Fuel could taste like shit, I think. And if they've been throwing the money around to all the biggest creators for years and years and years in this space, people are still going to want to be G Fuel people. They're still going to drink G Fuel even if it tastes like shit. I mean, it's pretty hard to make one of those drinks like. So Ghost is now in that position. Ghost is going to be picking up like all over the place in this industry now, I think, which is a really good move for them.
You're soft again, apparently, there, my friend. So apparently you're still not at the same level as me.
I'm going to do this for the rest of the stream. Hello?
I know, I'm in control, but he's already as loud as he can possibly be on my side. So, yeah, the Discord volume is completely all the way up, and yeah, I have no control. But yeah, no, I mean, maybe I could actually physically change it in the lounge. Maybe that would make a difference. I'm not sure. Let me just quickly go like that.
I could just start shouting. Maybe I'll just do that.
No, I think that's a little bit better. I think that's a tiny bit better. But yeah, no, you are soft spoken, and that's okay as well. No one can control Lukey, right? That's the thing. That's the thing. No one can control him. It's very, very true. But yeah, no, you're right. And like looking at the whole situation, it's like not only are they assuming the role of drink people, but G Fuel just put up or they were just about to put up for a FaZe Clan tournament, like $200,000 prize. So what happens now? Does that stay with G Fuel, or does that automatically go over to Ghost now? And that's we don't really have a lot of the information yet. So
this in that article you sent through, this other content creation thing, they've got the Ghost will be the official sponsor of Phase 1, The Warehouse, which is first ever reality competition. That the winner of that competition gets 250 grand.
Yeah,
it's almost like they've gone, hey, come to this one. Like they've got to outshine the proposed Phase 1 by 50 grand just because. You know, you couldn't come in and go, oh, the Ghost tournament, this is 100 grand.
Yeah.
We're taking over from G Fuel.
Yeah.
So they've gone bigger and better for this new competition.
Yeah, so, I mean, with Phase 1 being like, this kind of falls into category with the next thing that we were going to talk about as well, having a reality show that is essentially sponsored by it, like the implications of it across the board, you know, does that mean that FaZe Clan itself has dropped? Or does that mean that it's just for this one thing, this FaZe Garage kind of deal, or what's the deal? And like that's what's up in the air at the moment, because why wouldn't they use G Fuel for it? Why would G Fuel say no unless they'd stopped working together? Like, that's
it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. So the article does say that Ghost has taken over as their main sponsor, hasn't it? And
it does.
Yeah, for everything, and they're just at the start here, they're launching this new competition, this reality competition, and Ghost is right behind that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was just G Fuel. It might be similar to the situations where YouTube are coming along now and trying to pinch like a top creator from Twitch, where YouTube comes along and says, hey, we'll give you $10 million of 5 years. And Twitch is like, well, we have a lot of people. We don't really need to spend that much. I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Maybe G Fuel, because they've been in the game for so long. I mean, FaZe is probably their biggest account, but overall, because there's so many people within that organization, they do a lot together. But they have a lot of other stuff out there, so maybe G Fuel, with its own finances, wasn't able to compete with whatever Ghost was coming forward with.
Yeah, interesting though. Like, and honestly, super interesting, because this is the whole NFT space. G Fuel just released their own set of that rubbish as well. Like, there's a lot of other implications involved with it too that relate directly back to FaZe. So it'll be really interesting. We're going to stick with it. We're going to come back to it later. I believe that'd probably be the best way for us to approach it and see how it is in the week or so. But like obviously we don't really advocate NFTs here. We had the big angry NFT stream here not too long ago.
I still don't even understand what an NFT is, so I'm out on that.
Yeah. So we're definitely not there for that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of money involved in them too. So if that's what they're working with too, not great either. So I guess as we start speaking about things, this is something you're far more across than me. So I'm going to pour some soju while you explain the next thing here. What is Yucha?
Oh, so Yucha. So we're just talking about a reality show for the FaZe Clan and Ghost, The Warehouse, which is described in this article here as where is it? It's Big Brother. Are you going to the loo?
No, I'm drinking soju.
Oh. I've had someone in a party chat playing first person shooter, playing Warzone or something, actually go to the loo with their mic still on once before, so it's bringing back bad memories.
My stream is much more powerful than this. Like this is my stream much more powerful than this. Don't worry about that. If I was peeing, you'd know.
So yeah, okay, all right. So back on track, Lukey. So think Big Brother meets American Idol, but there's not a lot of there's not a lot of other descriptions about what this is. It's thousands of creator submissions. We're talking about the FaZe one still, and then I'll go on to this other YouTube one. The winner of the competition gets 250 grand brand deal from Ghost, an opportunity to become an official member of the FaZe Clan, a signing bonus of $1 million in cryptocurrency, and a Nissan GTR. So there's some big prizes in there. They're just throwing some random shit together. But Yucha is another one run by Ali A, Loser Fruit. There was a whole bunch of YouTube creators that have made this, and it's the same thing. It's been I found the news on this one about 4 weeks ago, and we weren't doing Streamaholics at the time, but it got all you have to do for this YouTube one, and it's basically the same thing. They're going to gather. You have to enter the competition by putting in a short on YouTube, 60 seconds of whatever you want to try and push your case. Submit that to the website. They're going to choose a certain amount of people. It's probably something like 20 again, and they go into a similar type reality show where there's challenges, live challenges on their show on a weekly basis, and I think people are voted out every week, the same as a normal reality show. And in that one, I'm just going to bring up that article because I had that here as well.
I'm just drink on screen then while you're talking, while you're bringing the article up, just to distract them.
Oh no, that wasn't an article. That was a video. Okay, let's not watch that. So YouTube, it's spelled U-T-U-R-E, and the problem with that was every time I tried to Google it, I just got results of the rapper Future, and that's all I got. Everywhere I was like, okay, YouTube, no, something. It's just all of his YouTube stuff. I'm like, damn it, Ali A. Like it's what I might actually do is I'll post this link to this one because. Interesting thing about this, if anyone's interested in this one, I don't know much about entering the phase one yet because that's we're sort of new across that one. But this YouTube one here, if you wanted to have a look at it, guys, that's the video that explains it in chat. Now, what do you call it? You have until the 7th of May, which is tomorrow in Australian time, but I believe it's probably American. But if you want to have a look at that and enter a short to get in on that competition, you do it the next day. But yeah, same thing. Another reality show. So it's really cool to see these shows and events being promoted across streaming and in the live streaming spaces. People are thinking outside the box now with it, like it's almost like it's a proper media industry, you know?
Yeah. It's weird. It's like we started off as this like joke of an industry overall. And now, slowly but surely, like I said, I think it was last week. Like I said, Keemstar. For how much we all hate the guy, like not necessarily myself, but everyone on the internet seems to. For how much everyone seems to hate Keemstar, he does have more of a viewership than your news channels, and he's a news channel. So is he now the best news channel because he has a bigger audience and a bigger viewership? I don't know the answer to that, but it's really interesting, and that's something that we're kind of
time, isn't it?
Yeah, it really, it's different now to how it's ever been, but good. And I'm always really bouncing off the walls. It's all the gym and all the new drugs that I'm on for.
It's because I mentioned having to pee, or that he's got the urge now. We might have to have a toilet break soon.
No, I've just tied a knot in it. It's okay. You're right. But no, it's I don't know. Like I love the idea of a game show. I love the idea of a reality show, especially as it relates to content creation, because it makes us. Like, those things are trash, right? All of them. Every single one. And yes, I'm talking to you like Survivor and The Big Brother and The Voice and all that other bullshit that we listen to and watch and consume. It's rubbish, you know? It's shit TV. But the good thing about us being able to do it now is that if we can even be at the level of shit TV, then we're getting further and further, you know. The next step will be like syndicated TV and then movies and yeah, if we keep trending the way we're trending, there's no reason why we can't be doing that. So
I'm really interested to find out like what in both of these competitions, like what they're going to be putting how they're doing the competition, like what they're going to be doing every week. So I think I'm going to be tuning into these definitely to find out more.
Yeah, well, I mean, because we've got to prepare for it, right? We need a rider. Do we have a rider? I need a rider to get some more drinks for us over here, and also catering. Where's catering? Because we should really be starting to have that. If the rest of the industry's got that stuff, then where's ours? Like, you know, it's about time for us to have it. So.
You just set up your own little catering table on the side here before every stream.
I mean, I usually do, but it's mostly just full of like, you know, alcohol.
Drinks fridge.
I want a drinks fridge so badly. Yes, one with RGB and a glass front because I want to. That's such a cool idea. But yeah, and because I've got the room for it now as well. But as it relates to like from the YouTube stuff and onwards to more things inclusive of Twitch and Facebook gaming and YouTube, let's talk about this one. Let's talk about this horrible one here. So numbers down. Numbers are down everywhere. It's a reality. Everyone's going through it. You linked us through a note before saying that it has been confirmed now that practically everywhere is experiencing a lull. Year over year, we are currently in the middle of a big downturn. So it was the only platform to show an increase of the lot of them was Twitch. But everything else is just not great. And even Twitch is still on a downwards turn comparatively.
Yeah, and I think I've seen it written in a few different places, and I think it's kind of what it is. It's kind of true, is that it's the increases obviously were the pandemic played a huge part in that, and because that's kind of coming to a bit of a lull or a bit of a slow burn now across the world, that people are returning to normal. People are going back to work they haven't before. People are stepping outside their house. And so the people that tried out streaming while they had nothing else to do are sort of disappearing again, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the viewers as well. They're just not around as much to watch as much content. So it'll be interesting. I don't know what the numbers are, probably up on what they were pre-2019. They're just down on what they were sort of early last year, that's all.
Yeah. I'm definitely feeling it. I don't know, like you're not back yet, so you're not in a position where you're feeling it, but I'm definitely feeling it. We've seen some real downs and some real ups too at times, but some real downs lately, particularly on the financial front as well as on the physical in-stream front too. And it's really scary time. Like this is the time now. I predict that the next sort of 4 to 6 months, this will be the mental health time for streamers, because this will be the time where either reality sets in and this is as good as it's going to get now, or they grow and things get better, or they quit the platform. I don't see there being another option outside of those things. So it's either going to become a matter of people who will be accepting of the fate, who will just stop streaming altogether, or who will knuckle down and ultimately get back on the horse. But I do definitely see it as being a more of a mental health time than ever before. And maybe I'm gauging that off my own reactions, because I'm done. Like this, I'm spent at the moment. Like I don't have any more than I'm already giving when it comes to the amount of work I'm putting into streaming, the amount of work I'm putting into content creation in general, the new stuff I've got planned. Like my bar is full. Like there's no more. I can't push any more into it. But it's not giving that upward momentum that it was, 8 months ago. So
yeah, you see that a lot. Like there is it's been probably, just trying to think when I started. Now I've kind of been started about 4 years ago now, and so even now, I'm relatively new compared to a lot of people. But I've seen the troughs and the ups and downs, not just in my own self, just everyone, platforms up and down.
Yeah.
And it's hard to gauge whether they're going to go back up again or not, or what. I've been on platforms where they'll say, oh, it's the Christmas break. The numbers are always down now. And then you'll be like, but that person over there's got more people than they used to have. Like, it's just, I don't know. But then platform wide, just to have that little dip at the moment, I don't know. It's the start of a new year where people are settling back into their new lives. I think, the next couple of months will be a wait and see on where it's heading. But even if it does keep on heading down, I don't think it's the end of the world for any of these platforms, because I think they're probably still way ahead of where they were a couple of years ago.
Yeah. It's just the individual creator that's going to suffer for it, not the platform.
Yeah, and that's really shit. Like I've gone through that myself with peaks and troughs and feeling like quitting and then really quitting and then getting back into it again, and then platforms closing down on me and then quitting again. Like it's just it is a huge part of the game, and that's why we've all got to kind of band together a little bit and help each other out, because the gaming space is already really, especially streaming, like the gaming and streaming space is already really full of people that are vulnerable in the real world. A lot of people in this area that use the gaming and streaming arena as their outlet and their place that they belong. And when they start seeing some success there, and then it comes crashing down, there a lot of the time there's a lot of people in this industry that aren't able to handle that, and I've been through that as well. It's just the nature of this game, but it's hard because you got to go into it. You got to know that when you go into streaming, that this isn't like a normal regular 9 to 5 where you're going to get paid minimum wage for a little while, and then if you do well, you're going to get a raise at some point.
Yeah,
this isn't like that. This content creation. It's a pretty hard game.
Yep, and look, I definitely understand that. Like I said, we're in a spot where it's real tough, and it for me, you guys all know my story. Everyone who are all the people in Streamaholics now, and particularly people who from my channel too, you all know what I've gone through, and like the fact that I can't just go work the day job. So for streaming's it. Like for me, for streaming, and it's a terrifying time for a lot of people in that boat, because I'm not the only one. There are plenty of friends who are in a similar boat to me, and yeah, I think that you will find even more people. I found that when I started to rise to prominence a little bit, a lot of people dropped off completely streaming, and I think that we're about to probably go through another set of that again, where the people who aren't able, or who can sort of live with the drop and it won't kill them, like those people, I think you'll find will start to drop off.
But you muted yourself. I think you pressed mute. No talkie?
Oh, I must have pushed something.
There we go.
But yeah, the people who were around a lot, they're no longer around. And that those people, they stuck around for a little bit to watch streams, but now that the world's opened up a bit more, even they've left. So it went from like they started as a viewer, became a streamer, then stopped streaming when they realized they weren't going to hit the same peaks and highs as some other creators that they watch, went back to being a viewer, and now that the world's open again, they are out. They've left the platform pretty much entirely. They'll come back every few months, but yeah, it does mean that there's quite a big gap in the people now. So yeah, I mean, that's a real downer.
It does, yeah, and it makes it. The other thing that makes it hard is just like you said, there are a lot of the people that watch. I mean, I guess it's the same with like if you're watching sports or whatever. A lot of people watching it would love to be out there, and maybe they're young and they have dreams of being out there. So it's the same with Twitch, but Twitch, because it's like not an age thing, you can be any age and stream.
Yeah.
I found this on Mixer. This is one of the Mixer's problems, and you see it a lot in Twitch still, and you're seeing it in your community, and I've seen it in my communities. You have a lot of people that are watching you because they want to stream.
Yeah.
And this is just how you do it. You join communities, you watch what other people do, and you implement that in your own communities, and it's all like we're all sort of feeding off each other a little bit. Not as much as Mixer. Mixer was like you'd barely run into anybody in your chat that wasn't another small streamer like you doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like, well, yeah, and in that, I've talked about it before. In that sense, it was like, well, who's coming along?
Who's
to
watching?
Subscribe to us then?
Yeah,
where's the viewers coming from? The endemic viewers.
Well, that's honestly where we are in a lot of ways. Myself included, right now, is that because we have such a big stream team, like we've got so many people who come in and they're streamers, and all those people who used to be viewers are now streamers, and the more that they become important, and get their own sense of worth and value as a streamer, the more they look at you as the streamer and they say, well, we're the same. Even so, then they stop watching or they don't subscribe because you don't subscribe. And it's this really like, there is a toxic level to it. There is a level where they forget sort of what it started with, and they start to think about only what is in front of them now. And but there's no replacement viewer coming from that now, because you build like a big community, and then all of a sudden 90% of them are streamers, and then they don't come to your streams anymore because why didn't you get up at 2 a.m. to come watch my stream, you piece of shit? I'm at your stream every day. Yeah. Why couldn't you be there? It's like, because I'm literally asleep. We live in different time zones, it's a little bit depressing, a little bit like upsetty spaghetti, because I don't do anything intentionally wrong, and I'm sure many other creators in the same boat don't do that either. But
no,
it's a scary time. I guess that's really the crux of what I'm saying, because as much as it's not the worst thing to happen, there's definitely an element of it that we're going to need to recover over the next X amount of time. Like until things sort of start to go on the up again, you got to be prepared. Maybe I'm prepping more meals than I would usually prep in advance on a weekly basis. Maybe we're having less beers on stream than we usually would have. There are some allowances that will need to be made over the next few months now, and that's just not for me. That's for everyone. So yeah, I mean, we should definitely move on to like happier pastures, I think, but. Because that's a little bit of a rough topic, I think, for a lot of potential up and coming streamers too. Because Streamaholics was that for a long time. It was a conversation about how to grow your streams and what's the cool new thing that's happening and why is everyone talking about this one thing. And
to go back to like the original idea for my Streamaholics thing, I had a group on Facebook, Streamaholics, that I was just starting off when I decided that I was switching up paths and going to give it to Goa. And the idea of Streamaholics in the first place was and that's hence the name Streamaholics. It was kind of going to be like a support group for small streamers because I know what it is like going up and down and the mental stresses, because I had gone through that and was still going through a lot of that stuff at the time.
Yep.
So the idea behind Streamaholics originally, before we got into like all the gossipy stuff that we love talking about, was really just a place to talk about the hard times. And what I've always wanted to make sure that people understand when they are small streamers is that it is going to be really, really hard, and you're likely not going to succeed. But you have to have the drive and the will and the creative juices and the passion to want to try. The same as a painter, the same as a musician who's busking on the street for like nothing, but wants to one day be on stage. Like that's what we are. We're creators. We're in the arts, really. Yeah. But I mean, that's. Just as a side note, that's what Streamaholics was originally.
It takes a lot to be able to stand up in front of people and do what we do. That's why people have VTubers. That's why people don't show their face as well. It takes a lot to be in the position where we're doing what we're doing. So I credit everyone who has the guts to come on and do that. And I just kind of want to see everyone do well. I look at the grand scheme of things, and it upsets me to see now some of my friends maybe not getting where they want to be and not doing what they want to do because the way the whole thing has changed, the whole industry has changed, means that they can't do it to the level that they'd like to. And that just sucks. But again, like then you get other people too, like what's his name? Rexzilla, who hires a full mariachi band to play in the background of Warzone. I don't know if you guys saw any of this. I don't even know if we can show it or not, but I reckon we can probably, right? I reckon there's probably nothing wrong with that. Let's
that little video. Yeah, it should be fine.
Let's go down to here real quick. You talk for a moment. Explain what's happening.
Okay, so Rexzilla, who's one of the bigger partner streamers on Facebook Gaming, hired a mariachi band in his room, in his house. Very nice house too, just as a side note. And they were playing behind him in stream. It was supposed to be every time he got a victory. I actually caught some of this stream when it was live over on Facebook the other day. And yeah, he had this mariachi band playing. I guess it didn't end up being when he won a game of Warzone, which is what it was supposed to be. But these three mariachi band members were just sitting on the couch behind him while he was doing like a round of Warzone. It was pretty funny.
Wow, that's rude as hell there, Carrot. And incorrect to boot. Yeah, we haven't even had that. We should do that actually one day soon. The gender in streaming thing, because I think that's an interesting conversation to have. Absolutely, and we get it to an extent too. Like I was objectified a lot when I first started streaming because of my appearance as as what's called a bear, because I'm quite large and hairy. There was definitely a lot of objectification, particularly early on in my streaming career, I guess.
Yeah, right.
And then as I put on weight, it seemed like my viewership dropped a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more, to the point now where I'm on medicine to kind of fix that. But yeah, let's quickly move away from that, because that's a whole stream's worth of conversations. So I
think one of these days we'll just have to have like a full on like mental health week where we invite the communities to ask some questions ahead, and we can have like a big DM session.
Yeah,
might be good to get it all out.
I mean, if I do that, I'd probably burn every bridge that I've built over the last 2 years.
Oh,
so
don't be burning any bridges.
And now you won't show up in this screen, but you'll be here to comment because I haven't set this up. But here's this.
I can't hear sound. Can anyone else?
Good morning,
This should be able to.
ladies and gentlemen. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
They should be able to. I
Let's
mean,
go.
Yeah.
You know what?
I didn't fucking.
We're gonna party
I
anyways.
fucking
We
immediately.
party even in the
We're just sitting on the couch. They were there for like ages.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
I love how he forgets what it's called. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
It is ridiculous. That's funny.
Absolutely ridiculous, but really cool. You know, it does rival that young kid who had the
Yeah, I was going to say
the
that.
fireworks and everything.
I wonder whether that kid had permission from his parents that with the fire that was coming up.
Yeah, because there were actual pyrotechnics there for a while. Like there was actual fire in that room.
I bet he's got a dad or a cool stepdad that set that up for him.
Yeah. It probably has someone who works in pyro. Probably works for Raw or something. Every time Randy Orton comes out and plays with, probably that's probably what they do. That is amazing though. Like very, very funny. That's dream stuff to me. I don't know about you, but that kind of stuff to me is like, I would love to do that stuff more. So
Yeah.
we did it with the birthday stream a little bit where we had people in the background doing dumb stuff and all of that. But as the office space gets built more, that's the kind of stuff I'd love to do because it's just different. I don't want to sit here and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the low energy streamer thing. Like for me, this is the worst. Like I don't want to be the guy that just sits here and that's not interesting to me, like at all. And like even from like a standpoint of like Minecraft and all the other stuff that I physically play at the moment, it's just not the same, like it's not as appealing to me as maybe the concept of doing stuff like that. I like IRL stuff. I'd love to just take the gang down to Varsity Club, which is like a burger joint over here, and just sit around and get drunk and eat burgers. And I'd love to do stuff like that far more than
That is very big on Twitch, the IRL, mate.
Traditional streaming,
the direction you head down.
Yeah, honestly, we kind of we're actually the size in the chat there is actually working on the RMTP server for me to connect my camera for so that we can actually do IRL probably sometime this week with any luck. So, but yeah, because like I love playing games on. Don't get me wrong, I love playing games on stream, but I love playing games on stream when people want to be there for it. And a lot of the time at the moment, it doesn't feel like they want to be there for that. So it's really hard to get in and play.
I feel like IRL suits you really, really well because your sort of whole stream is being built on the community aspect of it.
Yeah.
And the chat. Like to me, when you jump into your streams, every stream feels the same. Like, cause I lurk, I flick around every now and then and watch some streams for 5 minutes here and there when I've got 2 seconds. Yeah. Usually while I'm waiting for the missus to finish doing something to head to the couch to watch some Netflix, I'll flick on Twitch for 5 minutes and check it out. But yeah, so. Like, I think that the IRL suits you really well because no matter what no matter what game you're playing or what you're about to do on your stream, they always feel the same when you jump in there. It's like you don't realize what game's actually happening in the background because they're there for the community and the chat.
Because the game's not important. Like, the games are never important. But the problem is that as the viewership drops away, like it has been lately, the games become more important because you have to have something to focus on because when there's nobody talking, you have nothing to focus on. So, and that's when the games become important, and that's when it sucks because as a streamer, like who does predominantly reactionary content, how's your day, guys, going? And then there's crickets makes it really hard to then provide content and provide conversation, and I'd love to be able to do more around that, but it's real difficult when you're talking to nobody. So, that is really hard. Especially if you're coming from where you are and you're used to having people in chat, if you have a lull day, it would be pretty hard. Like I know it's always the whole like if you've got no viewers, you just got to keep talking and you practice talking to yourself, blah blah blah. But it wouldn't be easy if you're used to having people there. Like but IRL street talk Shippy. I mean that'd be fantastic.
Like people what's the topic of the day? You're going to ask people about the big topics.
Yep.
I guess you have a really, yeah, that'd be fun.
I'd love to get around to do that kind of stuff. I'd just love to go to I'd love to do a series of Perth food challenges where we get a few people around and we'll have your traditional ringer who can't eat anything, and we have your person who surprises everyone and all that kind of stuff, and we all get in, we all have fun, and we drink too much, and that leads to the podcast idea that we've been working on for a while. And yeah, there's just a lot of things that we've got on the horizon, but a lot of them cost money, which when we're not doing well on the platform makes it a lot harder to finish. Like the office is nearly done, but the floor needs to be put in, and that means I need the homies around to help me do that, because that's actually a whole process in itself. But once that's done, we can move on to the next thing, and then build the stage. And it's just it feels like it's one thing after another just to get to the point where I don't have to kill myself on Twitch for nothing, in order to get past that point, you have to already have the ability to go past that point. And that's the struggle right now is that, I love all the stuff that we do with the homies that we have on streams. I really, really do love it every day. But to be able to do more, we need to be able to do more. And that's just the reality of the situation. So, it'll all come with time, but you can't see the floor, but the problem with that not being able to see the floor is right now it is just plaster. I can come down here, and now it's literally just plaster. So everywhere in here is just dirt and dust and horrible. If I drop my hat on the floor, it's got plaster all over it. And
it's done.
But I want to be able to drag in all the other stuff too. I want to move this couch to the side here so it's on an angle about there. And then I want to have all knick-knack bullshit like I used to have back in the old days in the background again. You can see my old wrestling championships and all that kind of stuff in the background, and hang a guitar off one of the studs in the background there as well. And, get the sound.
You can play guitar, can you?
I can.
Nice.
It's right there, actually.
Hello, my name is Shippy.
But I can sing too, and that's the other thing, apparently. So, but getting the soundproofing on the walls as well, there's a whole bunch of little things that needed to happen, and none of it can happen until the floor is in. So, yeah, it's just about the next step to the next step to the next step. And I think that's what a lot of creators struggle with too. If they're trying to evolve and grow their content, right now we're in a bit of a stalemate. So where not much is happening in either way. So, but then again, a lot of people are growing too. So all the love in the world for those people, absolutely. One person who is no longer growing on Twitch, unfortunately, is the lovely, adorable Saikuno. An absolute gem of a human being. I actually am following on Twitch, but I haven't seen Saikuno on Twitch for a little while now, because when Twitch sent the email to offer the new contract to Saikuno, they spelled Saikuno's name wrong in the email. It's such a horrible thing. It's such a stupid thing, but it does show that thing I've been saying all along, is that when you try to get in contact with Twitch, they don't care. They don't have to care. Saikuno is the 28th, up until that point, the 28th highest streamer, the level 28, number 28 within the whole platform. One of the biggest earners for the entire platform as well. And they couldn't even take a moment to not copy-paste parts of a letter and change the name to the actual correct name. And, it might seem petty. It might seem like, maybe he's a bit big for his britches. But no, that's a slap in the face. To me, that is anyway. If I'm on the platform and I'm making you, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, I kind of expect you not to call me the Warship with an O, I do. I kind of expect you to call me the Warship or even my name. Yeah. Or worship. I honestly, I do expect you to
worship.
Yeah. So we did. Went to YouTube, and now all that money, it's YouTube's money, and that's unfortunate, for Twitch. But again, they don't care, because why do they need to? They don't need to care. There's nothing in them that needs to care at all about it. But
So This is just another one of those for me. Like, YouTube comes knocking with the big guns, the big contracts, and Twitch is like, "Well, here's what we can offer you, but we're not going to go to that level because we don't need to."
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. Because I read another article. I haven't got it here, and I haven't posted it there. One of his friends that he plays with a lot has also commented on his stream about how. So Sakunu says that he was actually willing to sign with Twitch, but having the name spelt with a U instead of a Y was what put him over the edge. He got so pissed off that's what made him. That was the last straw of his making a decision to move over. His friend says that he'd seen the offer from YouTube, and there was no way that he couldn't pass that money up.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking Sakuno is really, really clever.
Has just taken that way out.
Because I think that mentioning this. I think that it was wherever the money and the opportunity was where he was going to sign no matter what.
Yeah.
I think the mentioning of this and it becoming like a viral story this week is just a very clever way of promoting he's on YouTube. It's like, this happened to me, so I can mention it. You know, like not like a stand-up comedian, because I don't believe that they end up in any of the situations they mention they do on stage. So I reckon he's just like, this will be interesting to mention. Well, maybe he didn't even meant for it to get out as a viral thing anyway, but I don't know. It'd be a very clever way to like
promote the next thing.
This will probably get put all over all the esports and gaming websites as news. This is why I left Twitch, and that'll help promote that I'm on YouTube now.
One of those thumbnails with the why I left Twitch.
Yeah. So,
one of those things, I mean, it's probably likely part of it too.
It's a fun little story, though.
I mean, even without like him doing it, obviously, there's probably a good chance that his management team would have said, "Hey, we'll leak this as well," you know, because that would help with everything that goes ahead. Because when you're making that kind of money, you don't make all the decisions yourself. You have a manager, you have someone who goes ahead and tells you, "Hey, maybe you should say this or you should do that," you know, a little bit of a sneaky one. So that's probably the most likely scenario. That being said, though, it still kind of sucks to hear that Twitch doesn't care, you know, and to have further validation of that, because what's in a name? Sure, not much, but if that's who you are, do you think they would ever, like, you know, just not say, you know, to spell PewDiePie's name wrong, or, you know, like any of these other, like, you wouldn't, because they're major like celebrities within the space. You're going to call them John Paul? No, you call them Jake Paul. You know, you're not going to get it wrong, you know, and, you know, even though they're not to the same level, you still would have a moment where you're like, well, come on now, like, I'm supposed to be important to you guys, you know, why would you not treat me like that a little bit, you know? You don't have to come and fillet me or nothing, but just say my name right, you know? Like,
he's probably like super annoyed at a few other things that are going on, like at Twitch. So it is like when he says like it's the last straw, he's probably already got reservations about Twitch and some of the things that happen anyway, and so that would hit even worse. Like you would take it to heart a lot more if you're already sort of like not happy with the platform that you've been on.
Yeah, and look, it's true, because like at the end of the day, like we've spoken over the past couple of weeks about problems on Twitch, and now we're talking at it from a lower, middling sort of level of streamers. When you get into the big money, the money that buys houses and cars and all of that stuff, those problems don't get lesser, they grow. You know, you may be a bit more secure financially, you may have a bit more things, you know, that you're able to do with that money and your influence and everything like that, but it doesn't mean that the problems go away. They just change, you know, so they become different issues, and they do pile up, you know, and when you're expected to be in the public eye all the time, because that's what streaming is. If I don't stream on one of my regular days, I get inboxed. Why are you not streaming? Are you streaming tonight? Streamies? Like, and that happens almost every day. And it's not even like one person or two people. It's like 10 people who will say that. And it's like, yeah, I want to be on stream. But then I get on stream and they're like, oh, I'm here for a minute, but I've got to go do stuff. And it's like, okay, good. So did you want to see me stream or not? Like, that's what are we doing here? Like, and that's the thing is that sort of no matter what you do you're constantly expected to be at the absolute best. You can never have a bad day. Like, I deleted a VOD from a couple of weeks ago where I broke down, and you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to have like a full breakdown, a full emotional explosion, because all of a sudden you're making people mad. People are leaving your Discord. It's like, no, but wait a second. I'm a human being, and this whole thing that we've done has always been about support and mental health. Where's mine? What about for me? No, you don't like to see the people that you watch go through that. You don't come to Twitch. People have said that to my face. I don't come to Twitch to hear you speak about the bad shit in your life. I come to Twitch to forget about that stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. What do I do? Where do I go?
Got the channel for you then, mate.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've had that conversation with people, quite a bit actually, and it's hard because it's like, I always started this thing on like an idea of like mutual respect and mutual support, because I was going through a lot with my neck, and I still am to this day. That's the thing, is people don't understand. I'm not better. I'm just able to do more. But I was going through this thing with my neck, and people were coming in and they were making everything better, and whether it was from the few people who came in and just threw everything they could at the stream and actually helped my family live for a long time, or if it was people just coming in there, being there every day, like, I just can't wait to hang out in this stream and talk. And people even say it now, but then when the stream starts, they're just listening, we're not talking anymore. And where's the support network for the person who you feel like, you help them every day. You feel like, because they come in and they're like, oh, this major problem in my life happened, or this minor problem in my life happened, or whatever it might be. I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way, whatever it is. And all you do is, as a streamer, is you endure and overcome trauma dumping because you want to help them, so you support them, you have a conversation with them, you say, hey, if you need me, send me a message, go check out the mental health section of the Discord. If that doesn't help, just tell me about it now, and we'll get someone to help you best we can. But then the day that you have a bad fucking day, it doesn't matter. All of a sudden, oh no, I don't like the streams when you're sad, so I'm not going to follow you no more. And it's like,
fuck off. Makes me so mad hearing you talk about that. It's like, I've always thought about streamers, and your channel and your community is one of those types of streams where you want to be you enjoy that person's content, but you also want to be on the inner circle. You want to feel like you're connecting with a real person, and that, well, real people have fucking issues. Like, so you need to be able to be a part of that as well, and feel thankful and glad that they're letting you in on their world too. Like, that's supposed to be part of the connection between a streamer and a viewer. And if you can't handle that, or you've got the balls to say to someone, hey, I came here to watch you do some fun stuff, not cry on stream or whatever happens to happen on the stream, then fuck off. It's not for you then, mate. Go watch someone play Fortnite, or go watch some 14-year-old kid with fireworks in the background. Like, it's not. This isn't the community for you then. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, I was like legitimately shaking, like legitimately the whole time I was telling a really in-depth sort of explanation as to why I had been the way I had been lately, and why I had been upset. And the general feedback that I got was that I had done the wrong thing. But that was all that my channel had been based off for nearly 2 years now, was a level of mutual support, mutual friendship. And yes, we are streamer and audience, but at the same time, I am human and you are human. And I've said multiple times, I really need this one thing. If we can just do this one thing, I'll be better. And it's like, that doesn't compute, because it's not for you. It's not what you want. It's not what you need. It's not your support. It's not your channel growth. It's not for you, so you don't give a fuck about it. And that is my takeaway as someone who has now had their own stream team for close to a year, I guess. That's my takeaway from it at this point. And it's not everyone at all. We've got some amazing people over there. Amazing people over there. But it sucks when you feel like you are giving everything, like all the opportunities and all the support and all that, whatever it is that they need, you're there for 1,000,000% every day. Every day, even at the behest of yourself. I came here last week when my dad came here, and it was because I wanted to. But it sucks when you do that for the people that you care about, and they say they care about you, but then they just don't fucking show up, or they get mad at you for it, you know? And it's like, okay, so I need to delete this now.
I don't like.
Yeah. It's like, and to the point where I felt like I had to delete my VOD, where I had a massive breakdown about it, just because it was going to cause me more trouble than it was worth, you know? And so the less people are going to be here, awesome. Like, that's fucking cool. Like, because I'm literally screaming about needing help, you know? And
makes I don't know.
And that's the thing, is that we don't know.
What troubles are going to cause. This is content creation. I see people all the time opening up their hearts to their communities and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And
it used to be fine.
It builds better bonds between you and the right people.
Yeah.
But it makes me so mad that you've been pressured by other people, at other people, that you've been pressured so much that you've had to delete a VOD after you're having a hard time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is because I've always been there for others, you know, when it comes to this stuff. I message multiple people every day just to make sure they're okay because of one message that they posted in the fucking chat before they disappeared, you know? And I'll see it and I'll go, all right, in here for later. And then I'll just say, hey, I remember what you said in the thing. Are you okay? You know, or in our mental health section over on the Discord, someone will say something and I won't message the Discord directly. I'll go to the inbox and I'll say, hey, I saw the thing. Are you all right? Is there something you want to talk about you can't talk about there? You know, or are you, if you said all you need to say, whatever it is, you know, and it's just, it's hard because getting a message like that, because actually I'm speaking on experience from the last couple of days. I got a message from someone who said that I love your streams, but fuck, I hate that you don't back yourself and I hate that you're down. And it's like, all I do is that, back myself. And I'm down because sometimes it feels like there's a handful of people who also back me, but the ones who said they would just aren't there, you know? The ones who said they would just don't care. And the ones who said they would get mad at me for being upset, you know? And then that person went ahead and just removed me from everything. And that really hurt. So
it's hard. It's really hard to tell sometimes in this game because it's all based online for the most part, and you don't usually get to see a lot of the people in real life. But it's really, really hard, isn't it? Like, you've got a lot of people that are streamers as well, or
exactly right.
In communities, you don't know who's there to be genuine. You don't know who's there because they see you doing well and they want the clout, or like you don't know.
And most people tell you to shut up and just kind of get over it because it's only one person. But that's not how I've ever looked at it. You know, I've never looked at it as just being one person. Every time someone leaves my community, it sucks. Every time someone leaves the Discord, it sucks. Every time someone doesn't show up to a stream, it sucks. Like, I'm like, where are my friends? Because I'm always there, you know, where I can be for them. Like, and I kind of figured we'd be doing this.
You stream as much as what you do, though. It's not a YouTube video. It's not a nice little neat edited thing that you put out once or twice a week where you've sat down and you've done something that's entertaining. You can cut out all the crap or whatever. You stream hours and hours on end every single day. You're active in your Discord after that. Like, the content, like, that's your job. It's full time. It's lots of hours. You can't be YouTubey all the time for like 60 hours a week. Like, you're going to see some ups and downs. So I don't know why people can't understand that when you visit a Twitch stream or a live stream community.
And that brings us to the point of like, do I just do YouTube? Like, there was a real point there this week where I was like, I got to drop down to like 1 day a week or 2 days a week, but I can't because I can't let those people down who would message me, you know? Like, I can't do that physically. If I had an editor or a team who could actually get on and make sure that we had 4 days worth of content a week, I'd stream twice a week. Like, if I could do that and then have stuff for Patreon, exclusive content there as well, then I'd do that. Then it would be worthwhile. But
I would I know that's really, really hard for you because you rely on the income that you get from live streaming as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's where it becomes really, really hard for yourself. But it's like, I feel like the only way for someone to move forward and grow on Twitch, especially when you're seeing this lull and it's like, where's the next viewers going to come from? It's not like you play, you're the variety streamer, so you're doing different games all the time. So it's not like you're going to try and pigeonhole a game and do that forever because you don't want to do that. It's about the community and variety. So I feel like you almost, to move forward, need to do like a day or two less or a couple hours less per stream so that you can put some time into creating at least that 1 or 2 videos per week and try things out. Try and something that's off the side or niche or unique on YouTube, but it's just in a popular enough, you know what YouTube's like.
Yeah.
But
which is hard enough
too. That's the only way you're going to grow on Twitch, and anyone can grow on Twitch because it has no discoverability. You're like, you need to do that, but for you, it's kind of going to be a step backwards to hopefully 2 steps forwards. In the long run.
Because if it's not, what do we do? You know,
and in terms of the mentality about but I want to be there for the people on Twitch. I don't want to let them down, so I've got to be live there all the time. So now I can't create YouTube content. How are you going to be there for the people on Twitch if you're not there in 6 months?
Yeah, exactly right. And that's the scary thought as well. Is that not being okay?
That's going to happen, but you never know.
No, well, you never know. You never
put some eggs in another basket and help feed people to your Twitch or grow elsewhere.
Exactly right. And that's another reason why I wanted to do this thing on a grander scale as well, like we spoke about last week too, like the podcast. Like that's why I wanted to do like my stuff that I've got coming up as well on a different scale too. Like because you can't have all your eggs in one basket, and I've been putting them in there lately to my own detriment. But it's because I just haven't had the energy after struggling so much this month or so with everything, and at the end of the day, I'm just like, I have no time. I have no time for anything else. And I get on stream and I sit on stream and I'm trying my best and I'm smiling and I'm having a good time and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the stream, I sit there and I'm like, what did I just do? What did I just do for 6-7 hours? What did that achieve other than make me upset because it was less than it used to be? You know, what did that achieve? You know, and that's not a good place to be. So. Yeah, definitely stuff to take under advisement. And I'm sorry that we kind of changed the to everyone who's here on the live edit and everyone who's watching later on. I do apologize for taking such a personal turn here, because like this is my job. This is my family's life. This is livelihood. You know, we see the wee baby Thea come on to stream sometimes here, and she's like just going near 10 months old now, and without streaming as the ancillary income to my partner's income, we struggle. We struggle. And it's not going to get any easier this month coming. And that sucks. So I apologize again. But at the same time, like, I think it's important to hear that even the larger streamers like myself who are sitting in that mid-range, we're experiencing downs, and it affects us because we're fucking human beings. Like, and we all have thoughts of quitting. We all have thoughts of just throwing the computer out the fucking window and, like, being frustrated at the people who we've entrusted to support what we do, because you've always supported them, you know?
Well, while Shippy's there being nice and apologizing for getting personal, I'm going to say stuff it. Like, it's good content. I love talking about it. I like sitting here with you talking about it no matter what it is. Talking about some downtime, some good times, some fun shit. Like, I feel like that's what the show is. It's just whatever we feel like on a whim. And
I apologize too much.
I hope that everyone that's watching, everyone's watching is enjoying the content, because you should, because this is what streaming is.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it is. Like, it's not the 360 headshots, man. Like, it's not. There's streaming. You can watch anyone do that. You can do that yourself. You know what I mean? Like streaming is this person-to-person connection. It is being able to watch television, and the television talks back. Like, at its real core, that's what it really should be, because it saved how many people over the course of the pandemic. You know, if I was on my channel, I'd say put your hands up if, you know, this time on Twitch saved your life, you know, and there'd be hands up. Like whilst this pandemic has been happening, it's been a lifesaver for many, many people. and it's been a lifeline for others, and it's given great friends and great friendships to others. And yeah, it's so important to look at that side, the human side of Twitch as well, because like I said, I'm no less a man than anyone else in the stream, anyone else in the chat. I have fears and hopes and dreams, and most of those hopes and dreams, they're going to go to the wayside, because not everyone succeeds. And as much as we try, and I believe in myself, I believe that we can, but it doesn't always work that way either. So there's a lot of, as streamers, we have a lot of self-confidence issues. We have a lot of fear because there are 9 million of them on the platform, and 11 billion it feels like sometimes. It's like there are 9 million people here on the platform doing the exact same thing. But I think there's only maybe 100,000 of them that are doing the right thing, like doing the thing in the way that we need to actually grow and do well. And I have always felt like I'm one of those people. So without streaming, I wouldn't have met half of the amazing community that I know now. And, I love each and every single fucking one of them, despite the fact that they leave or whatever. Like the ones who are there, the real ones, the true ones, they know who they are. And for the rest of them, I still miss them. I still miss them when I don't see them, even if I give them shit when they're there. And we have like banter, like, they're my friends. And they're not just followers, they're not just fans, whatever it might be. They're friends. And yeah, that's why I take it hard,
Understandable, Matt.
I do honestly believe that that's the reason, because we Twitch is fucking it is like I said, it's a lifeline. And how many people do you know who personally started streaming because of the pandemic? Like I'm sure there's a lot that who started when it all went down. So
yeah, I don't have a lot at the top of my. I don't watch a lot of streams these days. Like as I said, I only just pop in and out of some Twitch stuff, and I chuck on some Facebook in the background during the daytime on the TV, and watch some YouTube because I like to check out all the different places. But there's some people that I know from back when I used to do the Facebook streams that I became friends with in real life out of Discords, and then into real life in Canada and Scotland and stuff like that, which I'm now friends with on Facebook. And hit the DMs every couple of weeks to check in with them, and still, even though I haven't streamed on Facebook since like start of 2019, no, late 2018. So it's been a while.
Have you missed it, not being able to do it?
Yeah, like I've missed. I enjoy being in front of camera and doing this sort of thing like this, but I don't think that. Like I've got dreams of, even still now 4 years later, I've got dreams of like creating at least a part-time job on the side with my streaming and being semi-successful of it. Yeah, I don't feel like me doing the talking head stuff like this or just being a me on stream is going to be like enough, because there's a lot of people that are us or me on stream. So as you know, I've had other things in the past and have plans for the future of doing other things that are hopefully a bit more unique and entertaining. So that's kind of, I missed that. I stopped doing. I was a character streamer for anyone who doesn't know. So I did a character on stream, and then Facebook. I decided to leave there when I was doing quite well to go to Mixer, and then I was just starting I was only 5 months into Mixer and growing, and Mixer shut its doors. And since then, I stopped doing the character stream, and I've contemplated doing my own thing as Lukey Bangers like this, but I have found it really, really hard to start. And I'm now getting the mojo back to go back to character streaming, because I realized that I haven't had as much fun in front of a camera as what I did when I was just mask on, not being myself and just being a goose on stream. And that was fun for me. Like, I'm not a community streamer as such. Yeah. The community was there, but it was more like a thing that you'd watch as an entertainment piece who talks back. Yeah, yeah. It's a bit different, but I enjoyed that. That was good for me. That was good for my heart to be able to be someone different and muck about and just be a goose and do things that I would be too embarrassed to do in real life. Yeah, yeah. And look, I think that's important too. And the reality is that whatever you're here at Twitch to do, like, again, as long as you're happy, as long as you're safe, and as long as you're not hurting anyone, all the power to you. If you do just want to be the person who sits there, like, oh yeah,
plays their COD like this, man. If that's what you want to do with yourself, like, you know, do that. If you want to be the person who has the fireworks in the background, you do that. You want to have the bunch of stupid, crazy effects all the time on your streams, and you know, have TikTok built into the way that your stream moves. You do that too. But like, if as long as you're not hurting anyone, you should be allowed to do whatever you want when it comes to streaming. That's kind of the whole thing for me. So, yeah, I guess that's probably a good place at this point to wrap up this conversation. And I'll be interested in doing like a proper mental health one down the line as well, because this is
when we're ready.
Yeah, it takes a bit to get into. And really kind of find reasons to talk about the things that we're talking about without just sounding like we're complaining for an hour and a half or whatever it might be on stream. But yeah, there's no lighter note stories. We've gone through all of them already. I'm sorry to everybody who bought G Fuel because I told them to do it. Apparently now you can't do that anymore. Go buy Ghost. Apparently it's better now. I did not like the drink when I tried it ages ago, but the powdered form is pretty okay, and they do make a pretty good WPI as well. So if you are a training person who likes to go to the gym and lift the heavy weights, go do that. I've started doing that again as well, so maybe I'll get in touch with them myself and see how we go. Probably badly, although they've only got 33,000 followers, so maybe I can get in now. Who knows?
There's an opening at G Fuel, though, I heard.
Oh, yes! We've put the phase, except we put it... There we go. We'll do it the sideways. So instead of being phased, we can go, yeah, the warship. There you go. That's beautiful. We could do both.
It's just easier.
Phase warship. There you go. That's fantastic. But yeah, all right, Lukey, come on now. Give it to us. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your Willy, all that kind of stuff. Tell us where they can find you. Go on.
So you can find me everywhere at Lukey Bangers, but you won't probably find me in those places if you search. So really the only place to, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, everywhere at Lukey Bangers. But you could get me on Twitch, but you're most likely to find me just in the Goa Discord, because I'm not doing content creation at the moment, or on Streamaholics. Just come back here every Friday at 7 o'clock and you'll find me. That's pretty much it. But Shippy, where can we find you, mate?
Mate, I was just trying to find the Goa members thing. I found it because we never advertise it, even though we're supposed to. It's the thing in the chat there. The Goa members get lots of cool benefits and stuff. It's lots of fun. Go to the Discord, check it out, ask around. Trust me, you'll have a good time. But yeah, for me, like, I'm here. I'm on Twitch at the moment, pretty much everywhere. I do have all the other stuff. You know, I always push the button on stream. I have this. I have YouTube at the Warship. I have this one. I have this one. And then sometimes I just push this button. Because it's so much easier to do. Those are the places you can find me. You can't find me mostly anywhere else, although you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at the Warship as well. So yeah, that was an interesting episode. I feel like we did a good job. I feel like, you know, I've probably only alienated maybe an extra 20% of my community. Who knows? We'll find out. That's if they even show up to places. But hey, it's
guys,
okay.
Go up to Shippy and support the fuck out of this man.
But yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining us again. And for Lukey Bangers, and for me, the Warship, he's a streamaholic. I'm a streamaholic. And now you guys, you're all streamaholics too. Please stick around for the raid and have a wonderful evening.
Wow, I hope you enjoyed that show. And if you want to make sure that you stay up to date with everything that Game On Oz has to offer here on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button. That's the best way